So here we are with Season 3, Episode 2 of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Last episode, Adora and Catra are now going to be making their way to the Crimson Wastes. One is voluntarily, while the other one isn't. So we'll just have to see if they're going to get to the Crimson Wastes in this episode or not, or if we're gonna be much more of a, we're preparing to go to the Crimson Wastes. Who knows? We'll just have to see. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon and early access in the YouTube memberships. Other than that, let us get started. Oh, shit! Okay, we're in the Crimson Wastes.
And the Queen is really okay with us taking off like this? I would have thought a mission to the Crimson Wastes would have been too risky for her.
Oh, she knows that. It's just
Tell her we were going.
it's not like she can stop you guys, right?
Tracking Mara's message to the source is the best lead we have.
I hope you guys got, like, supplies for this place.
Aww, there's even a cute little bird.
It's dangerous.
Never mind. This place is terrifying.
I think that bird just died.
There is something to do with portals out here. We have to find it. Which way now, Bo?
It's just the face of a dead bow.
Slight problem.
Out of battery?
My tracker pad, it's dead.
So we're without a map. I'm something of an expert tracker thanks to the Horde survival skills training. Going that way. Problem solved. I've got this under control.
Ah, dude, confidence is a killer. And like, once the desert becomes night, oh, that's the Horde. The Horde's been here, but like a long time ago, because that's just a skeleton boy.
Day 135.
Day 135.
Initiating first test. Here we go.
Damn, dude, she started that test with such vigor, did a 360 and everything.
I'm turning it off.
No, you fool, it's going.
So it's this, I would assume this is one of the reasons why they can't open up a portal.
The machine didn't have enough power, so we added first one's tech.
Yeah, so it's Mara's.
Power grid, so we powered its functioning, but it won't activate a portal. It's
The-
like there's a key.
There's a key.
Brings that tech back from the Crimson Waste.
Catra is never coming back from
Oh, she's a survivor.
The machine is a failure. We're done here. Get out.
But that was just our first test. If we
I
try...
said we're done.
Wow, what a quitter, am I right? Pulling her by her hair. Oh, I see that baby's made friend with Emily.
Why can't I just teleport us to the center of the
Do you know where the center of the waste is?
I don't know.
Wow. Wow.
I'm fine.
Give her a thumbs up. Oh wow, is that actually a town?
Okay, problem solved. We'll get out of the
It's
heat and maybe
it was literally like right there. You didn't even need a fucking
Crimson Waste has been abandoned for hundreds of.
Oh shit, dude. I mean, it certainly does feel like a place for criminals to hang out if it's out in the fucking desert.
just act tough. Try to blend in.
I swear I've seen that snout guy. Damn it. That she just fucking spat on their floor? Fucking rude.
Fellow patrons? Except, I don't even care if you do have a good afternoon. Because I'm bad.
Oh, hi. Is this the center of the Crimson?
Got money? You got money? Come on now. She's not fucking talking to you for free.
Directions?
Outsiders.
Yeah. I guess
We don't accept outsiders.
Outsiders. We didn't mean to disturb you.
Oh shit, is this Huntara? The name of the...
Two rules in the Crimson Waste. One, the strong make the rules. And
Of
two,
course.
don't annoy me when I eat. I made rule 1. They broke rule 2. Are y'all staring at something? Scoundrels, criminals, outlaws, all of them. Be careful, kids.
Well, thank you.
I might not be around to save you.
Damn, she's so cool.
Wow.
I know.
What?
Relatable.
Hi. Can we join you?
Hey, yo, she was courting some...
We're looking for something in the center of the Crimson Waste. It's important we find it, and you seem like you know
What are you gonna offer her?
too well.
What do you...
Can you take us?
What do you have to offer her?
What I just
You said that while saving us, so you can't be all bad. What do you say?
Excuse me.
She's talking like she's got fucking bargain. Like, what are you? Oh wow, it's an edible cup. You know, I was thinking about that.
If I say no, you're just gonna go out there by yourselves and get killed. Is that it?
Yeah.
Not ideal.
She's like, I like your attitude.
Looks like you've got yourselves a guide.
Great! See you guys? Problem solved.
She's not even gripping, dude.
Emily, will you cut that?
I love that she's fighting with Emily. Emily's like the law-abiding citizen out here. So, oh, those are all the baby stuff. So this is him without his tech.
Get out right.
Oh? Man's been injured for a while now.
The war will destroy all those idiots caught up.
Well, including you guys, so like, the whole world will fucking implode.
Huntara doesn't run from anything. You got that? I want to be here.
Okay. Damn, she just ate that bug raw. Those two are just over it. We have some fun.
Yeah, well, it's been a long trip from Bright Moon.
Bright moon?
Bright Moon. Oh, she growled at that.
Pretty sure we're going the wrong way. Definitely a different way than we've been going.
Hey,
Is she leading you guys outside of the Crimson Waste? Alright guys, go home. Is that a sundial? Like a giant sundial?
this can't be the center of the Crimson Waste. There's nothing here. No, there has to be something here. I was so sure. The message said...
Oh,
What?
a little tranquilizer. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 'Twas a trap this whole time.
Outsiders are a risk to all of us. I did tell you not to trust anyone, Blondie.
That is true. I thought they were gonna drop the weapon down there for a second. I was just like, why? But,
Ta-da! I made you soup. Soup always makes me...
dude, miniature soup? My god. There's so much.
You're from another planet. That thing in the vitrine looks like you.
That
and
thing
you've
in the
got tech
vitrine.
compensating for your body. As a scientist.
Damn, she's really out here fucking
You wanna know what I am?
girl bossing her.
Of the Emperor of the known universe.
Oh.
Prime.
Horde Prime?
Cloned himself, building an army to conquer all he saw.
Oh, so those babies are technically him?
But there was a defect in my cloning. And defects are worthless to Prime.
Mmm.
During battle, a portal opened and sent me crashing to Etheria. With nothing but a broken ship, I built an empire. When my
Wow.
portal opens, Prime will see that he was wrong. I am not a defect.
I mean, he'd probably be like,
Something.
you should have done this faster for a backwater planet.
Perhaps Prime was right. I am a failure.
Oh, no. I'm listening. I heard you. I've got an idea, but I need the rest of my tools. Be right back.
Nope, off she goes.
Ninth time's the charm.
Ouch. Oh my god.
Everyone landing on my ribs distracts from the other bruises.
Oh.
This time, having this mission made me feel in control. After the last few days, I really needed it.
She wanted to have she wanted to choose, make a decision.
This is gonna be so much fun.
I do not need your help in this.
Everybody needs help sometimes. And you shouldn't be upset that you're not perfect. Take Emily. Emily's got quirks, but that's why I like her.
Oh.
Perfection is what makes scientific experimentation possible. Imperfection is beautiful.
Mmm.
At least to me.
What was
I mean, I'm a failure.
You are not a piece.
I don't fit in. I became friends with Adora, but she abandoned me.
Rip.
I became friends with Catra, but she doesn't talk to me.
Rip. Damn, though, she's rather giving fucking Hordak an upgrade.
Your armor is more of an exoskeleton now. The tech compensating for your organic body.
I acknowledge the work you put into this. It is very technologically sound. No matter what you say, you are not a failure. Any who discount you are utter fools.
Wow, Hordak's such a cute little tsundere.
Are you feeling guilty?
Uh-oh, trying to...
I did what I had to.
You act so tough, but you're running scared from something just like the rest of us.
That's mine.
Then come and take it.
Damn, bro, the flexibility on Huntara, though. Oh!
Mine.
Well, that's...
Come and take it.
Yeah! She doesn't even know how to use it. I mean, it's a new weapon, so, like, gotta figure out how it extends somehow. Damn, dude, what a precise... I was gonna say, what a precise shot. Oh. Did the same thing Huntara did to her.
Quick, time for Shira.
I mean, I think you've already got her.
You know about Shira?
Know about Shira?
I am Shira.
After all, it's not like it's something they teach you in the Horde.
I was a Horde soldier. They told us we were heroes, freeing Etheria. from
No,
evil
the same thing
agents.
as Adora.
You know what we saw. You were one of us. That's where you learn to fight, isn't it?
The fighting style.
I won't stand by and watch people get hurt. And I won't run away. Tara, I need your help.
Damn, really giving her the...
I face my problems head on. And if you're trying to stop the war, then I will do what I can to
Aw, sick, dude. Huntara joins the party.
Adora.
There's that big ship.
It's Mara's ship.
Mara's ship. Okay, that's why they writes Mara, right? The ship was just... You know what? They were walking. They were walking over there with his ship. We haven't seen Catra yet. Catra's out on her own, I presume? Did they just... I mean, it's supposed to kind of like be a punishment for her, right? She's been sent out on her own and everything. I was gonna say something. You know, I feel like the more I look at Huntara, the more she's starting to look like a Dragon Ball Z character for me. But, alright, that was a nice little introduction of a new character, and, well, I gotta go write some notes, and we will be right back to the center. You know, it's been ticking in my head this whole time, the whole idea of Horde Prime and, like, Hordak being a clone, and then him getting tossed aside because he has a defect in his clone body, which, you know what? It's not his fault. It's Horde Prime's fault, alright? Maybe you have something faulty in your fucking body that's causing the clones to have problems. I'm just saying. But the idea that Horde Prime tossed Hordak aside and put him into a place where he expected him to die, right, in the front lines, which is kind of what Hordak is doing to Catra. But Hordak ends up going through a portal, takes him to Etheria, and then he built an empire here, and he's planning on taking over this world so then he can go back to his nice little cushy position with Horde Prime. And, like, that's the exact same thing that Catra is doing. You know, it's that feeling of like, okay, like the environment that I'm living in is not exactly great, but it's the only place that I know, and it's literally the only thing that Hordak knows, because he was a clone of Horde Prime. So that's all he fucking knows. So once he gets tossed aside, of course he wants to go back to where he was, and he only knows the way Horde Prime treats him and others. And that's why he's treating everybody else like this. And, you know, go into like the whole thing of like failure and all that. He feels like he's a failure because Horde Prime says so. And, you know, when the man who cloned you says you're a failure, it's pretty official, you know? So it makes it understandable why Hordak doesn't like all these failures and why he doesn't feel like all this progress that Catra was doing this whole time is actually good, because it all accumulates to nothing to him, right? Because what he wants to do specifically is to open up a portal and just fucking end this rebellion. It doesn't matter if Catra's already doing that with the resources, the minimal resources that he has. Again, it all accumulates to nothing. So, I do like that they gave us, you know, Hordax's backstory and everything here. Also, what a fucking narcissist Horde Prime is. Hey, I'm the emperor of the known universe. Who are my generals? Just clones of myself, because I can only trust myself. What a fucking guy, dude. Okay, this whole thing with Hordak being sent to the front line and then a portal opens and it just sends him crashing into Etheria. And all I'm thinking about is, you know, that whole thing I was talking about last episode about the idea of just a portal opening up and then it just happens to open up right below Adora and just sends her through the portal. The fact that that could be a possibility, that is so funny. You don't have your eye on your baby for like 2 seconds, a fucking portal opens up, boom, she's gone. Rip, dude, rip. Alright, so that was Season 3, Episode 2 of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty good episode. We had the introduction of Huntara, we had the budding friendship between Hordak and Entrapta, and also we got the backstory of Hordak as well. And I will say the introduction of Huntara kind of definitely feels like it's been overshadowed by all the other scenes between Entrapta and Hordak, at least for me. But I do like Huntara's character design, and she's, you know, she is a tough gal with a heart of gold, you know? She's out here being the tough person, being somebody up and all that, but she is the person who ends up helping out Adora and the gang, and Adora is able to see that goodness inside her, because it's just like, oh, you know, you out of everybody there, nobody did anything except for Huntara, so there must be some good. I only want to talk about 2 things in particular, but there's really just the plot A and the plot B. And I don't really have too much to talk about for like the plot side of Adora and the gang and meeting Huntara and everything. But from what we learn about Huntara is that she used to be a Horde soldier, but she ran away because she found out the truth, right? That the princesses aren't exactly evil. She's just been brainwashed into, or it been indoctrinated into thinking that the princesses are evil. And because of that, here she is in the Crimson Wastes, because everybody who goes to the Crimson Wastes are running away from something, whether it's from the law, from their family, from their country, or whatever, from the Horde. That part when Adora mentions that while they were walking, that ticked Huntara off, right? And she continuously says, I'm not running away, I'm Huntara of the Crimson Wastes. You know, definitely coming from someone who isn't running away when they tell you that they are not running away. I suppose Huntara wanted to teach the kids a lesson, consider that she's talking about like, hey, you shouldn't trust anybody here, and yet here's these kids coming up to her. And fucking Adora with like so much confidence coming up here like, hey, so like, we're gonna need a guide and everything. And I'm just over here like, you have not given her any reason why she should come with you. You know, like you're not even paying her or anything. Oh, we need a guy. Like, okay. Like the Crimson Waste seems to be filled with dangerous stuff and all that. Like maybe you should try to pay her at the very least. I can't remember if they've done that in episode 5 or not. Of season 1, I mean, when they first met Seahawk. I currently can't remember if they actually, I don't think they paid him, did he? Did they? Or did they bargain with Seahawk for like a much lower price or of just not paying him at all? I can't remember. Anyways, going into dangerous places and just being like, all right, you're gonna help us. But Huntara, again, having that, you know, heart of gold and everything, she made the realization that these 3 kids, they're just going to go off into the desert alone and freaking die without a guide. And so she's just like, okay, fine, I'll bring you guys to where you guys want to go. But in the end, it was all a trap, and the kids get paralyzed, their weapons got stolen, and they were thrown into a ditch, to which I presume Huntara would have just come and saved them afterwards because she would have felt too guilty about it. not cut out for the Horde, unfortunately. That's why she ran away, right? She's not gonna leave them starving down there. But hey, Glimmer got Adora and Bo out of the hole after many tries, and just them falling from that distance. It really looks like a pretty big. Hold on, I want to look at the ditch again. I suppose they don't really show you how far it is, just really showed them falling down, which, goddamn, dude, those broken bones. Certainly does look pretty dank enough, you know, pretty deep enough where you see them like that. And then Adora, Bo, and Glimmer just keeps falling from that height. How many times? Jesus Christ. Anyways, after they got out of the hole, we have Adora, whose confidence has been broken. Who would have thought? But also, it's kind of a confidence that she's just, it was a bravado that she's been putting on, kind of like in the beginning when they head on out to the desert, and with Bo and Glimmer saying, hey, maybe we're not ready to go to this place. I don't know what you guys should have done, but like, certainly, definitely should have prepared a lot more. But Adora, all this time, she says she wanted to be in control, and she felt like for the first time, right, her going to the desert, going to find about, to learn more about Mara. It's understandable for Adora, because throughout her entire life, all the decisions, all of the paths that she's gone down, it wasn't hers, right? She was just some kid living outside of Etheria, and then she gets brought into Etheria through a portal. She gets raised by the Horde in order to do their bidding, and so she's just kind of been, and she was blindly doing that the whole time. And when she finds out that the Horde is bad, she ends up going over to the rebels, right, to the Bright Moons. But even then, all the things that she did, she had to do as what She-Ra does, right? And all these decisions accumulated to either from the Horde or from the Bright Moon rebels or from She-Ra, and it's never coming from Adora herself. And so, understandable, right? Again, with her like wanting to take control all this time. And I wrote in my notes that says confidence is a silent killer. I mean, even Huntara was like, oh, you're cocky, huh? I like that. And then she uses that to her advantage. But in the end, Huntara decided to join with Adora, you know, after getting her butt whooped and everything. And just the two of them being able to share their side of the story when it comes to the Horde, right? That the both of them are pretty much similar to one another, except with Adora running away from the Horde, she decided to join the rebellion instead, while Huntara ran to the Crimson Waste because she was still running away, right? Adora decided to turn around and face the Horde head on. So, you know, after some inspiring words or something from Adora, Huntara decides that she's going to join, so good for her. I also wrote another part of my note where I just wrote Huntara is a gay icon. Yo, when they first met her, they had this like fucking light. They had the same light-ish for Entrapta, and I was just like, what are they doing with this light show that they're having? Oh yeah, okay, so I think these two were the same ones that blew the paralyzing dart, right? Yeah, they show her, she's in this light, and like, there's this. Also, goddamn, dude, when you look at her from behind, she really looks like a DBZ character. Okay, so she turns around, and then, like, that lighting on her, I'm just like, damn, dude. They're really making an introduction for Huntara. Yo, this fucking lighting, dude. Like, when Entrapta says imperfection is beautiful, at least it is to me. And then we've got this light, it's like, the fucking thing is just spewing something. I currently can't remember. What is the thing that flies out when you're like, you know, metals clashing against one another? I can't remember what the name of it is, but, you know, that's kind of the effect that they're putting, but like So in the first scene of Hordak and Entrapta, they are continuing to build their portal, and they've got these first one text that I assume she said she incorporated to help stabilize the portal somewhere around there, and things seems to be good, you know, we've got Hordak smiling out here. He's just like, my portal, it's so good. But it started to act up, and as Entrapta is running on over, Hordak realizes that it's gonna blow, and he ends up saving her, which, you know, I kind of felt like he had some sort of care, at the very least, even if the care might not be laid on her specifically, you know, because, oh, she's still useful, I can't have her fucking get blown up. Alright, that's gonna stall my portal creation and all that. So, even if it might not be laid on Entrapta at that moment, he still had that moment of care to actually protect her, so, you know, good for Hordak and all that. But we see yet again this anger that Hordak has when he realizes that the portal has failed yet again, And Entrapta continues to have her same attitude, which is, oh, you know, it's just a failure. We've just got to try it again. You know, she has worked on Emily over 50 times, and like Emily still has her quirks and all that, but you know, that's what makes Emily great. And I also enjoy Emily as well. But Hordak's tired of all this failure, so he just tells Entrapta to just get the fuck out of here, but Entrapta is not the sort of person to listen to you when you tell him to get out. Later on, with Entrapta going back and then finding Hordak in a state of weakness, right? He fainted in front of her and everything. She puts him in a fucking cozy little blanket. It's so funny. He wakes up, he's just like, what the fuck? What do I got a blanket over me? And then she makes some soup, but like they're all in small individual bowls, which is just fantastic because she likes small items. And I just love this part where he's just like, no, I don't want any soup. And she's just like, well, you know, I've got I've got spoons in all directions. And so Entrapta pushes Hordak to explain, right, why his body is like this. And just overall, if this is anything related to science, she must know because she is a pursuer of science and she must knows everything. And here we have Hordak's backstory. He reveals to her his biggest secret, I would presume. He has not, I mean, if he hasn't told the portal technology or relayed the portal technology stuff to Shadow Weaver or Catra. There you go. Forgot her name for a second there. But then again, I don't know. Shadow Weaver knew about the portal, but then again, maybe Catra told her about the portal, and that's why she knows. But I'm gonna assume that the portal thing is something that he's been keeping a secret of for the most part, and like Entrapta has been the person that he has been revealing the secret to, whether initially it was because he needed her because he realized she has a brilliant mind, and then here in this part where she just pushes him to open up, right? And you know, maybe he decided to go along with her in her words of like, I need to know this. I need to understand this for the pursuit of science and everything. So he reveals his big secret to her, which, again, is still a very big step for Entrapta. She's out here just getting Hordak's secrets. And Hordak is the clone of the Emperor of the Known Universe, Horde Prime. I really like that his name is Emperor of the Known Universe, you know? I don't know those other universes yet, so that's why they're not conquered. I do enjoy this art style that they showcased when they were going through Hordak's backstory and whatnot. But anyways, Hordak was a clone, and he was one of Horde Prime's top general. However, there was a defect in his body, and he was tossed aside, right? Useless, a failure, worthless. Those are the words that he uses a lot, and in their words that he points it towards, you know, anybody he deems it to be, right? Shadow Weaver, Catra, and all that, and these are just the words that Horde Prime, I would presume, tells that to him. And so he was sent to die in the front lines, but he fell through a portal to Etheria, and well, he ended up being stranded in Etheria, and with nothing but a broken ship, he built an empire, which also explains the orphan children and honestly, the lack of competence, right? Where the Horde feels competent, but incompetent at the same time. It really makes a lot more sense because Hordak, kind of like with what Catra said in the last episode, you don't really know what the fuck you're doing here. That's why you can't even defeat a group of teenagers. You have to get me, a teenager, to actually do this shit for you. So like, Catra really fucking cuts at him in those words, and again, if he's the only person from his place that's been stranded here and in a planet that he doesn't really know much about, and oh yeah, I keep forgetting to talk about the whole portal thing where Entrapta keeps talking about like, I don't understand why it keeps failing. I thought it was this, and then we fix that, and then something else happens, and then we fix that, and another problem keeps propping up, and Entrapta's just continuously trying to figure out, and she's just like, maybe there's a key, you know, maybe we need a key to actually open up the portal, which actually would make sense the way Entrapta talks about it. And that's why Entrapta's just like, all right, we gotta wait for Catra to get the stuff, right? But Hordak's is just like, nah, dude, I sent her to die out there, so don't even bother. But I assume that the portal keeps failing because of what they mentioned in the last episode with Mara breaking the connection and like breaking the portals and stuff that cause some problem. And if you are trying to open up a portal, it's going to be a dire consequences, or something big is going to happen if they force themselves to fully open a portal. But again, with what Entrapta talks about, that there might be a key, maybe Mara or Shira is the key to reopening it up, because consider that it's Shira who closed and broken the cycle, right? It can only take another Shira to restore balance and whatnot. I do also enjoy the scene of Entrapta fixing up his armor, and he's just sitting over here, fucking hands crossed and everything, like, I don't need your help in this. God, dude, Hordak really fucking showcasing his little tsundere side out here, dude. All I can think about is, wow, Hordak suddenly became so adorable now that you're telling me that he is, in fact, a tsundere. And you know, I have a saying, once I find out that somebody's a tsundere, all their sins have been absolved. Although, no, I don't know about Hordak. I don't know, like, what is he? Oh shit, the power of friendship! Dude, Entrapta's really good at doing that. But I do think that would be really funny if, like, Hordak somehow decides to change and, you know, be a slightly better person and, you know, actually help the people of it. Even though he has committed all these wars and taken orphan children and all that. That's a lot of crimes out here, all right? There's a lot of crimes that Hordak's got to pay for. The way that they're kind of treating him and, like, showing him a backstory, trying to, you know, I was gonna say, I suppose, humanize him, right? Giving us, we don't, like, as the audience, I don't particularly know if they're trying to make us, like him or whatever, but, like, I definitely understand a lot of the things that he's doing, because he and Catra are very much alike, kind of the same way as how he's alike with Entrapta, right? The thing that Entrapta sees within him, and how he tells her that he feels like a failure, while Entrapta tells him that he shouldn't be upset that he's not perfect. And then she gives an example, right? Emily's got all these quirks, her programming is glitchy, her left leg sticks, and she's loud, but these quirks is what makes her Emily, right? It's what Entrapta likes about her, and it's the same thing with everybody else, and how they have their own little quirks and everything. And with Entrapta saying, imperfection is what makes scientific experimentation possible. Imperfection is beautiful, at least to me, she says, and then the light just shines, and she's smiling about it. Hordak's just over here like, wow, I've never heard this before, because perfection is always something that he was striving for, because he just wants acknowledgement from his papa. He's got daddy issues. It all makes sense now. You know, I say Catra's like a tsundere too, because she is. And like, if Hordak is kind of like that, dude, fucking tsunderes, like, all they really need is to be watered and loved. Alright? Watered like a plant. And just be loved. Or else they're gonna fucking destroy the world. Tsunderes are dangerous. You can't fucking ignore them. Ignore their feelings and everything, dude. They're gonna do some really destructive behaviors. Yanderes, you know, they have an obsession with, like, one person in particular, and, like, that obsession might end up making them want to destroy the entire world. But for the most part, I feel like yanderes tend to keep themselves close to that one person they're obsessed with, you know, and then anybody surrounding that person. So, like, unless that person's, like, at, like, a very high position or something that causes the world to destroy, you know, I feel like yanderes, they typically don't try to destroy the world. They just want to keep the person they're obsessed with to themselves and all that. No, they only do that out of necessity. Kuderes, they just want to do the whole, like, I don't really care act, you know? So I feel like they might not have much capability to destroy the world. Tsunderes, though, dude, they are fucking destructive. They are dangerous, dude. With what Entrapta is talking about, right? And I like her talking about how she doesn't fit in, right? I made friends with Adora, but then she abandoned me. I made friends with Catra, and now she's not talking to me. But I'm not giving up. I do enjoy that about Entrapta, and I know that somebody talked about how Entrapta is on the spectrum, and I mean, you can really see that from the way that she has certain obsessions about certain things, you know? Like, she really enjoys the development of, like, the scientific stuff, but, like, she also really enjoys Emily. She likes all these small stuff, like small food items and all that. And with the way that, you know, Entrapta says, right? Imperfection is beautiful. I think that I think that would hit a lot of people, especially people who are also on the spectrum like Entrapta. I feel like, not to say that you are a failure, you know, like in this world, right? Hordak or Entrapta is a failure. It's really more like the world has failed them. Like, they haven't failed the world. It's just that the world expects things to be perfect. And it's just like, if things are perfect, it's gonna be really boring. It's gonna be like super squeaky clean and everything. And like, that's, again, that's some boring shit, right? A perfect society is an imperfect society, right? It's having all these imperfections that we have and being able to accept people for who they are and all these little quirks. Although, unless, you know, you're out here committing war crimes out here, I don't know, you know, unless you're out here you're hurting other people with your little quirks, that's not. But overall, you know, I think that I do agree with Entrapta's words. So Entrapta upgrades Hordak's armor. She says that it's not just pure armor anymore, it's now an exoskeleton, so it will help his weak-ass body to be a little bit stronger. So maybe we'll see Hordak fighting or something now that he's got a better body. Entrapta's out here helping him and everything. And I do appreciate Hordak trying to compliment Entrapta. You know, he's never had to say any nice things about other people before. He was literally born into war, and he was made for war. And so somebody's giving him a nice compliment, telling him that it's okay to be imperfect. Again, I appreciate that he's actually willing to give that to Entrapta. You know, maybe he's growing a little bit. You know, maybe he's getting that damn sinking feeling of the power of friendship. Ooh, it's gonna burn him. But I also really enjoyed that he kind of like, as he teeters off in his compliments and all that, we've got the baby, you know, telling him, yo, you gotta fucking tell her something else. There's something more than this. And so he does it very aggressive, because this is just the way that he is, right? You are not a failure. Anyone who discount you are other fools. Very nice. So Hordak and Entrapta are friends now. Good for her, you know? Entrapta's really good at being friends with just about anybody. And that's coming from the fact that she doesn't really see things morally. But she sees the things that she feels are good within that person, or the things that she feels she's able to relate with that person. So I appreciate that. I also appreciate that she's, you know, she recognizes, or at least she took it in from the way that Catra says the story, right? She still hasn't really heard it from Adora herself. She just took it in stride. She's just like, oh, you know, I tried making friends with them and then they abandoned me. So I just found new friends. And then the new friend that I found, that I became friends with, stopped talking to me. So like, I'm just keep trying, you know? Sometimes things don't end up the way that they are. And again, this whole thing just results in the world has failed these people, or the universes for Hordak. Anyways, he's gone through multiple universes and planets and whatnot. Horde Prime has failed Hordak. There you go. and you know, like in a whole different world, if the Horde wasn't here, if Catra was, you know, born to a much nicer family who was able to love her and whatnot, you know, maybe Catra and Entrapta could have been friends much easier. I would assume of course they're gonna continue to still be friends and whatnot. Obviously, Catra's probably just being like, well, fuck, I have to be in the desert because of Entrapta. But again, right? Because of Entrapta, you're not going to be silent. You're not having to do all these other punishment that Hordak is going to do to you. But until Catra figures that out, she's probably gonna be like, ooh, Entrapta, you're gonna rule the day and whatnot. And yeah, I had the idea that maybe Catra was going to eventually get Entrapta to go back to the other side so then she could have that acknowledgement from Hordak, but it seems like she kind of tossed that aside now. So I do wonder if what will Catra do? If she does find the first one tech, like, I guess she's gonna come back, but like with attitude. Which, you know, Hordak certainly needs somebody with tude. But we have not seen Catra for that whole episode because we had more of Huntara and Hordak's stuff. I assume maybe we'll see her in the next episode, but I did wonder if we were going to the Crimson Waste this episode, and then since we are, I do wonder if we're gonna have most of the season take place in the Crimson Waste. I mean, we're still gonna be showing, like, Hordak and Entrapta maybe, We didn't see Scorpia, so maybe Scorpia went with Catra if they allowed her to. You know, I mean, I would hope that they allow her to take somebody with them, although I'm gonna take you with me to the punishment. That's kind of fucked. But I hope that Catra has somebody else instead of just her alone, you know? I don't want to see an episode title that says Catra alone, alright? Overall, as I said, good episode. Can't wait to see more of Huntara, especially seeing more of what she can do and just, you know, getting more dialogues from her and all that. And, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hordak's just a cute little tsundere boy. But alright, folks, if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.